Good afternoon and welcome back to Fite Sports Uncovered. I'm your host, Mark Joubert, and another exciting show lined up for you today. Today we're back in the studio here in Randburg, and today's show is proudly brought to you by Monati Chocolate. Remember, it's that new era artisanal bean-to-bar chocolate company, and you've seen us talking about it for the last number of weeks, and if you stay tuned to the show, you stand a chance of winning a fantastic Monati hamper. Well, it's Women's Month. It's the very first Friday of August. And as you know, every single year we've done a specific focus on women, although I don't personally believe that we should only be focusing on women in the month of August. We're talking fight sports, we're talking Women's Month, and today we're talking boxing. And my guest today, wow, if I just look at her in studio, she is the blaster of promoters. She is the snake in the ring and the former WBF World Women's bantamweight champion. I'd like to really introduce you all to Bukiwe Nonina. Bukiwe, welcome to Fite Sports Uncovered. Thank you so much for your time.
I thank you for inviting me, and I'm honored to be here.
Well,
it's been a while not doing interviews, so yeah. At least in August we have a chance.
It has been. I mean, you last did an interview, what was it, earlier this year, later last year?
Last time.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it?
It was in August last year.
Yeah, so it's been a while, so almost a year since you've last been on TV, so thank you so much for your time. I know it's a tough time at the moment, not just for boxers, but for all sort of athletes, getting back to return to training. It's particularly tough for combat sports athletes, but we're going to talk a little bit more about that as the show unfolds. I mean, looking at your record, 20 fights in, I know we can talk about 21, and maybe we'll talk about a little bit about that, but 15 wins, 4 losses, that one no contest. You made your professional debut back in 2011. You spent about a year in the amateur ranks. That debut, what was that like going back? I mean, it's now been almost 10 years since you've been a professional boxer.
Almost. Yeah, I lost my first fight in professional. And I lost my first fight as an amateur too. But my record in amateur, I have 12 fights, 11 wins by knockout, then 1 loss. So in pro, my first fight was a loss. I go back to my drawing book with my father. And the second fight was a win and a road to title, SA title. Absolutely.
But first of all, what attracted you to the sport of boxing? I mean, you're a woman, you're in South Africa. I mean, let's think about it. 2010, 2009, must have been around about then. You were deciding, let me get into the sport. A woman in South Africa getting into the sport of boxing. What started it for you?
To be honest, I hated boxing. I was the only one at home. We are 6. Then my 3 first brothers were playing boxing, my sister and my younger sister. They were in boxing because my father was a boxer and he was owning a boxing gym back in Northwest. Then I was staying with my grandparents in Eastern Cape. I was playing soccer. Then I moved to Northwest 2007. I was playing soccer still there, but things were not going well on my side because I went tries for Banyana. But then I was from the location. They picked some white ladies in town. So I was replaced like that. Then I quit soccer in 2010. My father convinced me, I don't know how, because he knew he knew how much I hated boxing. He convinced me to join his team. Then after 2 fights, I was in the Northwest team to national games. I lost in final. It was okay. Then 2011, we went for SA games in Mpumalanga. Yeah, in Mpumalanga. It's when I was denied to fight in 50 kg because last time I lost in 60 kg. I was fighting in 60. Then I dropped weight 3 kgs to 50 because I was doing 53, the same weight that I'm doing now for professional.
Yeah.
Then I went after they denied me to fight because I was overweight with 3 grams. When I wanted to take my pants off, because it's allowed, you're allowed to take your pants off, then you get in the scale again, your weight will be fine. They didn't allow me. I said, okay, fine. My father was like, it's done. I'm done with amateurs. It was June in 2011. The following month, we got a call. He was talking to some guy in PSA. We got a call that we have a fight in Limpopo in pro. Then I signed my things to PSA. I registered as a professional. Went to Limpopo, I lost my fight, round 2.
So just on that point, you decided as a young female athlete to get into boxing. Like you say, you don't know how your dad convinced you to get into that, but
I don't know.
You then get into that first professional fight. What was going through your head? Because surely at this point you must be thinking, is this right for me, or did that actually serve as more motivation for you?
I was still having doubts, and I was at school. I was just playing boxing.
Yeah.
It was just fun in amateur. Then in pro, the pressure is not the same. You're fighting for money there. Okay, I'm fighting for money now. Okay. Then there are sponsors. You have to convince sponsors, you have to convince promoters, and you have to convince the crowd. So it was hectic, and it was less than a month that I was in Mpumalanga, and I was still hurt because I wanted to be a SA champion, and I wanted to go to Olympics in 2012 because I knew all the African ladies that are in my weight, they don't stand a chance. First thing, they're short. And I know African boxers, they only focus to knock you down. And I'm not a fighter, I'm a boxer. I'm too smart for that. So after that, I lost my fight. We came back home. I got a call. Again, my father got a call. It was August, Women's Month. The fight was here in Brekpan by Mbalizans. We got a call, okay, Nonina, I was fighting for 4 rounds. I lost. And now they're putting more pressure that I'm fighting 6 rounds.
Wow.
And it's the first time, because in amateur I'm fighting for 3 rounds. Then I'm fighting for 6 rounds. And the winner is going for SA title. It's like, what?
That's a lot of pressure.
Then again, my father convinced me. And my mother was into too. I don't know what they were talking about, but they convinced me. And then my siblings were like, you know what? And my cousins, because we were all training at home. You know what? We'll train with you every day. We did. I won perfectly my 6-round fight, and I was like, okay, I did it.
You can do this.
Then, boom, October, it was a title fight. In 3 months, I'm fighting. October, I was fighting in Velkom with Kabisile Chabalala. Kabisile Chabalala started boxing in 2005.
So a lot of years.
10 professional in 2005. Yeah.
A lot of years experience ahead of you. Yeah.
I think she was having 6 fights. I only have 2. 1 loss and 1 win. Then I went for title in Velkom. Most people were there, even the TV was there, SABC. Most people said I was cheated clean. Then I said, okay, fine. You win. Let's get a rematch. PSA said no. We need more females in South Africa to hold titles. No, you going to another division. We were fighting for in 55. That's
Super Bantam.
Yeah, that's Super Bantam. Then they said bantamweight is vacant. We're giving you a date in March. You're fighting in Eastern Cape, Port Elizabeth. You're fighting, who was that girl? Ryder from Rimbombo. Yeah, Ryder. I forgot her name. Then I was like, Ryder started boxing again in 2005. I'm new. Then now she was having 7 fights.
So this is your 4th fight, and you're already fighting for a 2nd title.
Yeah. I got to the fight, and that time I was doing grade 12 in 2012. We prepared the fight from January with my father till March. We're fighting 18 March. Went to Eastern Cape for, I believe, when I'm fighting maybe outside the province, I believe to go there a week before the fight. So I can relax, I can make my weight. We went there, I was super fit. I was even underweight because I was on 50 kg, 3 more. Then we got there, everything was fine. We all make weight on the way in day. The fight was exciting until she decided to stop at around 6.
She retired, yes. Yeah.
I wanted to go for 10 rounds because a title fight is for 10 rounds. I wanted to go for 10 rounds again. Then they stopped the fight. After that, it took me 5 years to lose again.
Yeah, because if I look back at your record, you then went on a 10-fight win streak. In that time, you won the South African title. You won the WBF Women's Female Bantamweight title, which you then defended 3 or 4 times. In all of that sort of period, your confidence as a young boxer, bearing in mind that your 3rd fight of your career was for a title, your 4th fight was for a title, now you're a world champion. I mean, confidence-wise, as a young athlete, it must have been massive for you.
Most champions, that is why they don't last. I defended my SA title 5 times. I was the first one in the books of BSA in history defending my title 5 times. And I also got the award. It was perfect. But then I think most champions, they make mistake when they relax too much. First of all, I was once a contender. I know I have to put a pressure to the champion.
Yes.
Then the champion, they relax. And then they forget that when we put the title in the table, it's not your title anymore. It's not your title. Anyone who's fighting for this title
can take it.
Yeah. So I always put myself as a contender. I always train more than I used to train while I'm a champion. I dedicate myself more, like I'm challenging, like I want to be the champion. So that's what I'm always doing when I'm preparing for a title fight, unlike I'm preparing for 8th round or 6th round. So I put more pressure in me. I put more pressure in everything I'm doing. I make sure there's nothing that distracts me. I make sure that I'm eating well to keep my title, to fight for that title, even though it's mine, to fight for that title. That is why after I defended 5 times, I vacated it, SA title, before I fought for world title in 2017. I put the title down and said to BSA, you know what, I'm giving back to your title. It's mine, this one. Do another title, it's fine, for another champion, because there are many boxers. I beat them all in my division. There are many female boxers who want to be champion, but I'm standing in their way.
Yeah.
Can you please let me leave this title so I can go for another title? Luckily, WBF president from Cape Town, Howard Goldberg, called me and said, Nonina, this is a chance. You're fighting a German woman. She's old. She have experienced 35 fights, 30 wins, 20-something knockouts. I was like, now you want to kill me.
So we're going to leave it there. We're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. If you've just joined in, we're talking to in my opinion, a global superstar in the making, Bukiwe Nonina. She has been a multiple champion, not only here in South Africa, but on the world stage. Right after the break, we're going to delve a little bit more in detail into a little bit more about that career and some of the big challenges that she's faced over the last couple of years. Don't go away.
Introducing the new, fresh, and exciting Rhapsody of Realities app 3.0. The Messenger Angel Rhapsody of Realities just got a new updated app for reading Rhapsody daily articles. Enjoy reading and listening to your Rhapsody on the go while taking advantage of these amazing features. Brand new design. Enjoy the new design built to take advantage of the latest technologies to make your app experience awesome. It's simpler and easier to use. With just one click, you have access to the article for the day. It's that easy. Sync notes. Pin down moments of divine inspiration while studying the devotional and sync them to the cloud to be available anywhere, anytime. A new interactive store. Visit the store and get all books by Reverend Dr. Chris Oyakhilome for people of all ages and download them to your library. Store your favorite books in an easy access folder. Enjoy unlimited access when you upgrade to our premium subscription. Gain access to the complete package of Rhapsody of Realities every month. This includes the entire month's devotional on the go with free audio devotional add-ons. Track your reading habits daily with our automated calendar and identify unread days for the devotional. Read further studies right within the app. Download the new Rhapsody mobile app today for free and be inspired anytime and everywhere on the go. Available on the Google Play Store.
Welcome back to Fight Sports Uncovered. And if you missed the first half of the show, You'll have missed our initial discussion with Bukiwe Nonina. She's taking us through her career and how she got into the sport of boxing, and how as a young up-and-coming athlete, she's made it to the top of the world in terms of that WBF title. And while we were in the break, she was trying some of this delicious Monadi chocolate. And for someone that literally at the beginning of opening up that slab of chocolate told us that she's not a chocolate fan at all, she tucked into this quite badly. And I mean, you look at that face, she's loving it. And she's staring at it. She wants a little bit more of it. She's going to get to take that home. But here's a question for you if you want to win a delicious Monadi chocolate hamper. Simply tell me, what year did our guest debut as a professional in boxing? You can send your answer to +27 83 885 2040, and we'll select a winner from that, and you would win a delicious Monadi chocolate hamper. Right, getting back to the discussion points that we had just before the break. You'd gotten yourself all the way up to a world title. You defended it a couple of times, but then over a very short space of time, a lot of things happened to you. We look at initially the fact that you had a full go at the South African promoters, really not happy about what's happening with promotions and promoters here in South Africa towards female boxers. You stepped away from your longtime trainer. You had 2 major losses in your life. Very close friend, your father, someone that you've spoken about who got you into the sport of boxing. You also vacated your title, and then you signed for another title, only for COVID to put a stop to all of that. Now, all of that took place in a very short space of time. Now, as a young athlete, what was the impact on you in terms of all of these things going on in your head?
Firstly, last time I was signing off things with my former trainer, it was before I went to Denmark. In December I was fighting, in December I was fighting in Eastern Cape for 8 rounds. And in January, 18th January, I was fighting in Denmark.
Yes.
And I have to live in South Africa in 2 weeks. We were not in a good terms together. We were fighting. The whole trip, more than 18 hours to Denmark, we were not talking in the plane.
Wow.
I was just going with him because we already signed everything to go, like we're fighting. I go to the fight, not okay.
Not in the right headspace, yeah.
But I fought till the 10th round. I lost the fight, yes, but in that fight, I learned a lot because I was fighting with myself before I fought with that girl. I was not me. And then this former trainer of mine signed my contract for featherweight and the title while I knew that I'm fighting 8 rounds in Denmark. So I didn't care. I'm fighting for 8 rounds. And it was a cash weight. Cash weight, any weight we do, but less than 57. He signed a contract behind my back that I'm fighting for a title. IBF. In featherweight.
Wow.
And that's 2 different weights between my weight. Then it was like that. We finally, because my friend, he was my friend, he was staying in UK. He came back to South Africa in December. We sat down. I signed him as my manager.
Are we talking about Harry Manaka now?
No, we're talking about the one who passed away in December.
Okay.
Makosi Ngoza. We sat down in January, then signed as my manager, because I didn't have a manager. He was just a trainer, but I was paying him as my manager.
Yes.
The whole percent. Then I told him, you know what? This is my new manager. You just a trainer. I will pay you a percentage as a trainer. Then he said no. Then I said, we can go then. I didn't leave, he left. Then you can go. Then we worked together with my manager. Without a trainer, we were good. Until I was supposed to fight in August in Eastern Cape. They canceled the fight the last minute. And I was already due to be stripped my world title.
Yes.
But for protecting my ratings, because I'm rating number 3 in the world in IBF. Then I was like, you know what? If I'm losing my title, I'm going back to top 20. I'm there 18. Let me just vacate the title, then save my ratings. Then I vacated the title immediately. I wrote to the president, you know what? I'm sorry, I have to vacate this title before you take it because the fight is cancelled. He was like, I know you're smart. I knew you will vacate your title before we take it. I was like, okay, it's good, we're cool. I
you kept your rankings?
I kept my rankings.
And then you got another signing for the world title?
For that title, I was keeping my rating.
So that's obviously very positive stuff. Obviously that fight was postponed now as a result of COVID. But two big issues that took place in the last year. Baby Lee
was shot in August. After I was in Eastern Cape on the 25th of August, attending the Fight of Women's Month. We were together with Zolani Tete. Then she was shot on 30th of August. She passed away by her ex-boyfriend, and she was with the mother in the car. It was terrifying.
Wow.
It was. She had a bright future, and everyone was asking, when SA give us a fight between Bukiwe and Baby Lee? Because I fought Sharadin, we were best friends. I fought Sharadin in 2013, I won the fight. So it was only Baby Lee was left. We were friends. Then we go to the ring, we give them what they want. Then we come outside the ring with friends.
Friends again, yes.
Yeah, so it was like that. We lost Baby Lee in August last year. I was recovering. I fought in September, my last fight, under my new promotion because I signed with F2 promotion. John Chabalala and Elias Chabalala. Elias is a legend of trainer because he produced many boxers in South Africa. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, many boxers in South Africa, including Rose of Soweto. They were under him. Yeah. So he did his job. Then he decided to promote me. I was the first lady he signed with his brother under them. So they gave me my first fight in September. While we were okay with that, in December, I was preparing a fight. I got injured. My manager got sick, passed away in 18 December. Okay. I was trying, I was trying to be okay, fine. And he was also my best friend. So my promoters took me to Harry and Binoni. Harry signed me. I was the first lady again there under that VIP gym. Harry signed me under him. We trained for 2 months. My promoters were fighting so big for me to fight for IBF. If I'm not going to Argentina, that lady must come. Or they must go 50-50 with her promoter. But the promoter was like, the boxer doesn't want. Then my promotion offered that lady the money that she can't refuse. Finally, we signed the contract to come to South Africa. We're supposed to fight in Khan Valley City. While I was like that, then they said, okay, we're closing for COVID.
Yeah.
Same day, they told us the fight is no more. We're closing. Got a call. I was calling my father during the day because we were talking the following day. He said, I'm admitted to hospital. I'm not feeling well. I'm like, okay. I will call you in the morning. Your mother is coming too. I woke up in the morning not feeling well. I called my mother. She didn't pick up. My auntie, she didn't pick up. I called my dad. No pick up. Okay, fine. Something is not right. Got a call from my brothers. We're like, okay, PK, there's an Uber that is waiting for you. Come home now. They're staying in Soweto. Okay, fine. I packed my things. They took me home. Then 3 of my brothers, the firstborn is staying in Rustenburg, thirdborn is staying secondborn is staying in Soweto, thirdborn is staying in Carltonville. But now they are here all. I'm like, it's weird.
So that was really, really serious.
I'm like, it's weird. And then I see my sister-in-law is not okay. I'm like, okay. Then they said, you know what? Our father passed away this morning.
Oh, man.
For a moment, I was like, okay. Then the worst part, same day we drove to Eastern Cape with the whole family. Then when we were in Alwal North, they turn us back. Then I was like, what?
So it just got worse and worse and worse as you went on.
We had to come back to Joburg and do those things they needed. But we had lucky to go back to Eastern Cape and bury our father. And everyone was worried about me because they knew how close we were. In sport, in everything.
So, in amongst all of that, for the young boxers out there, I mean, you're a role model to young female boxers in this country. Through all of that hardship, through all of that positivity around a world title fight again, what is your message to the young female athletes out there, particularly young boxers? What would you say is the key message for them at this time?
I think we still got it. We still have it. We just need to push harder. We just need to believe in ourselves. You stand up every morning. You know why you wake up. So do your best. Always don't look back. Don't look down. Keep your head up and stand tall. You got it. You got it.
Well, there you have it from a world champion. She's been there, she's done it, and she's still so young. So few fights on her record, so much more to go. Thanks so much for watching. Until next week, protect yourselves at all times. We're out.